I'm Seth Cronin, and I'm the CTO of IP Capital Group. My guest today is Lisa Ascolese. Lisa Ascolese, also known as the Inventress, is an inventor, mentor, entrepreneur, product broker, author, and founder of Inventing A to Z. Her new book, The Inventress's Guide to Inventing the Right Way, All or Nothing, Now or Never, is available from Amazon and Barnes & Noble. Lisa and I discuss how she became an inventor, what makes someone an inventor, the things that stop people from becoming an inventor, mistakes, mindsets, and tools inventors can use to succeed. So without further ado, Lisa Ascolese. Lisa, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so excited to talk to you about invention, what inventors do, how they get their ideas out into the world. But maybe we could just start with your beginning. How did you become the inventress?
Well, I became hello, and thank you for having me on your show, first and foremost. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm always excited to talk about inventions, mine and especially my clients, and these incredible innovators. So the inventress. So let's start by my inventing journey. I was 9 years old when I started mentally and physically inventing products that I did not know were actually inventions. You know, you create, you walk around the house like I did as a kid and always looking to make something better. You know, the example was when I was 9, 10, 11 years old, I'm raised in Brooklyn. So let me start by this. I was born in London, raised in Brooklyn.
Wow.
So in Brooklyn, we have a lot of handball courts, right? And that's what we did. We played handball after school. We played handball on our houses and, you know, against the brick. Sometimes the brick was painted, the paint would chip off, and that was an invention. But anyway, I came up with shoelaces that would stay tied because I was playing handball and shoelaces would get in the way. And, you know, and I was always thinking like this. So fast forward many years later, I would invent and develop products on a regular basis, not even knowing until I was about 12, 13 in, junior high school, when I started making products for myself. And people would say, where did you get that from? And I'd say, it's mine. I made it. I created it. And they would say, well, can you make one for me? And I'm going, sure, but I'll sell it to you. So I would start creating products for other people and designing. And, you know, as an adult, my first product was that I actually sold to the general public was a breastfeeding cape. I was very young when I had my first child and embarrassed to nurse. And I said, well, let me create something that would cover me up and I could, you know, naturally nurse my child in public, privately in public, and had my first product with hair accessory on QVC and other products on QVC. And we can get into that. But working with this amazing publicist, she says to me, we got to come up with a name for you. This is crazy. You have so many inventions. You're on all these shows. We have to call you something else. So collectively, we came up with the Inventress. I'm an inventor. I'm a miss. I'm a Mrs. Why not add the two? Put the two together. And so to answer your question in a very long circular motion, that's how the Inventress was born. The name, the Inventress, and it's trademarked, by the way.
I certainly won't steal it from you. But that's so amazing, and I think it really gets the heart of what an inventor or an inventress really is. As someone who sees problems in the world and doesn't just throw up their hands and say, well, this is how it is. They take the next step and say, how could I do this better? How could I fix this? I mean, you started at such a young age.
Not to cut you off, I mean, some people do and some people don't, because most people don't know the steps to take. So there's so much fear when it comes to inventing products, because the question always is, who do I go to? Who can I trust? Because I don't know how to do this. I don't know how to do this. I see it, I envision it, but how do I actually get it to the general public or to manufacturing or to a prototype stage without, number one, getting ripped off by somebody, telling the wrong people, sharing your information? How do I start? What are the steps? So everybody is an inventor. Everybody. 99% of the world is an inventor. There's only that 1%. Whenever I'm in a big conference, I'll say, who here is an inventor? Raise your hands. I have, 99% of the people raising their hands. Actually, by the end of the conference, that last person raises their hand. Oh, I thought about something. You have an
Mm.
innovative mind. We all do. It's about taking the next steps and understanding how to make it happen.
Right. I mean, I think invention is probably one of the things that really makes us human, even. Everything we do is basically an invention. You look around the world that humans have created, it's all inventions. Even the words we're using to talk to each other were just someone's idea at some point. Um, I guess, why doesn't everyone in the world have an invention or product out there? What do you think separates people like you who have taken that step, the leap of faith, to really believe in their invention and bring it out into the world, and the people who just leave it in their heads or put it on a napkin and never take that next step? I mean, what's standing in their way?
It's Seth. It's uh fear, right? As I mentioned before, it's fear of the unknown, fear of knowing who to go to, and also the determination factor. When you talk about somebody like myself, I was never fearful of doing it because I went straight to what I thought was right, which was drawings, and then to search the patent attorney, which is not always the step to take first, obviously.
Sure.
I made a lot of mistakes along the way, but stepping over or walking through that fear is very important. Walk through fear, walk in faith, and having the confidence to do it. So what separates me from many people is what I mentioned before. The fear of finding the right person. Suppose I call this person, suppose they steal my product idea. Now now I'm broke. I've given away this idea, and I'll never be able to do anything.
Mm-hmm.
So it's determination and walking through that fear and having faith.
Yeah. And I imagine that breaking through that fear is not the same for anyone. It has to be something either totally internally or maybe a mentor that helps you break through that fear. And I'm curious if you ever had any mentors in your life, just because you've become such an important mentor in so many other inventors' lives.
I have. I have had great mentors through my life. I mean, it's just from my parents, my grandparents.
What?
They were always. My parents were very confident people. May they rest in peace. Just the greatest mentors I could have ever had, and didn't even know it as a child. Right? When I was put on punishment, besides being told to walk up and down the steps 10 times because I was running, walk up and down the steps 10 times and count out loud. Right? The other thing was, okay, I'm not going to spank you, but you need to recite whatever it was, or you need to look up 10 inventors today.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a young kid, not even thinking, I'm not doing that. So you talk about mentors, mentor. You don't even know. I didn't even realize. I don't even know if my parents knew what they were doing. Maybe they did, maybe they didn't. But I had so many. Dionne Warwick, great mentor of mine as an adult. Met Dionne Warwick 25 years ago, and just the most positive and inspiring human being, not just because she's a performer and great and all of those things that you see publicly. As a person, she's been a great mentor, always positive advice. I go back to my family. And there's a name that's escaping me, and it'll come in a minute. He was the creator of a hair product many years ago. His name escapes me. But I called him up and I said, I'm developing a hair accessory. Who should I go to? Where do I get this thing manufactured? And he said to me, ask people for what it is you want. Ask for what it is you want without fear. And you'll get it with your passion and determination. You'll get what it is. Of course, you have to put in the work and put in money and all of those things that you have to do. But yes, I've had many mentors, incredible mentors, and my sister and brother. I mean, just mentoring in a space that's positive. I look for positive energy. That's my mentor. Positive energy is my mentor from people, right? Positive people who may not necessarily walk in my own space. This is a very esoteric industry. Let's face it. How many people are inventors who are sitting here talking like me, right? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot.
Very few. Yeah.
Very, very few. So I've reached out to people who I did not get help from. Many people I've reached out to ask for help. as a young adult growing through this, and did not get the help, did not, from many people. So I decided, that's why I do the things that I do, decided that I will mentor and help anybody who is determined to succeed. I will help. I promise you. If they're determined, they come to me with the right mindset, positive attitude, I will help them to succeed.
Yeah, I think that's truly amazing, because I see in my field all the time how much mindset impacts the people's ability to invent. It's funny, because I work with a lot of engineers, and engineers are really good at seeing how things are not going to work,
Right.
and all the problems that you're going to have along the way. And I think it's that sort of fear that stops so many people that they're worried about making a mistake. Their idea is going to become a failure. They're going to invest all this time in it, and it's not going to amount to anything. And I wonder some of your thoughts of like how inventors can cultivate that mindset to, whatever it is, whatever mistake or roadblock they encounter on the way, to push through it, to learn from it, and to go forward to actually bring those ideas to life.
It's a confidence factor, just looking at other things that may have failed in their lives outside of the inventing world, right? How many things outside of inventing have failed, but then you try it again and then you succeed, right? If you don't try, don't try once. Don't try once and don't. If you try once and don't succeed, try again, right? So that's
you got to lose a lot of handball games in order to win one, right?
Exactly. And that's everything I do. There's not a yes in everything I do. Even today, I'm on the largest shopping networks in the world. QVC, HSN, Shop HQ, and I have my own. And sometimes we just don't get product on air. Sometimes it's no, or it's not now. Or sometimes something has to be redesigned or retweaked in order to get it going. But I never give up on a product. In fact, when people come to me with ideas that I don't think are necessarily going to function properly in the market, we tweak. Tweak a little bit and, put some new eyes on it and new ideas on it. And sometimes it flips. Listen, anything can be sold. Any product, as long as it makes a little bit of sense, can be sold with the proper marketing tools. And if there's a need for it, people are going to buy it. Look at Amazon. Come on.
It really is incredible how many products are out there for how many different needs. It's absolutely mind-boggling. And to think that there was like a mind behind all that, a person like you who took that risk to bring that product into the world, and how many mistakes must have been on the way to get that to be the final thing. I always, think about that Edison quote where, I haven't failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work. Right.
That's right.
And it makes me think that this is the message to really take home for a lot of people, that a mistake, failure, that's actually like a step along your path to being successful. I think that's one.
Can I share something with you?
I would love to hear, a failure that was on the path.
Okay. And this was something I never shared with anybody. I was just interviewed. I was just interviewed recently, and they asked me if I ever had a failed product. Well, I mean, they're all failures in the beginning, right? I told my clients, you're not going to get one prototype, you're going to get 10. When I started in this business, I would say, let's get a prototype done. I'm sure it'll be great. I'm sure it's going to be fantastic. My optimism has dialed down a whole lot, right? So, because the first prototype is not going to be perfect. I'm the most positive person you'll ever meet in your life. Guess what? Your first prototype is going to be wrong. 100% wrong. Your second one, your third one, your fourth one, wrong. So get ready. Hold on. Stay encouraged, because a lot of them are not going to be right? Whether it's a stitch or a hook or a snap, whatever it is, not going to be right. So I created a product called the Wrap and Store Organizer. Developed this product. It is for wrapping paper. It has pockets and you name it. It holds cards and scissors and tape and a roll down bar and a pocket that was in the back of it, so you could put it over any size chair or most size chairs, right?
Amazing.
And, great. It was beautiful, remarkable. Tried it on many chairs, and then QVC picked it up, right? It fit every chair I tried it on. I was invited to go on QVC and present this product. Well, I think I had 3,500 units at the time. And the host said, okay, good, let's put it over a chair, right? So now I had just a few minutes prior to lights, action, camera happening, 13 seconds, I think it was to be exact.
Oh, man.
Then I'm going, wait, this is not fitting on this chair properly. I shuffled through and I had to find a safety pin in order to make the back of the product fit. It did not fit that chair. It did not fit the back of the chair. I pinned it, I pulled it, and it worked out. But so that's my mistake. It was such a big mistake because what I should have done was made it elastic instead of straight the way it was. But anyway, so the mistake was the back of that product that I didn't try it on 100 chairs. I tried it on 10. Should have tried it on 100 chairs. So that product did not fail. It sold very, very well. It was okay, did well. And, but it was a mistake that I never shared with anybody. In fact, when she spun the chair, I stood where it wasn't fitting right. She goes, let's turn the chair around. And I'm following the chair like this. I'm going around the back of the chair to make sure that pin wasn't showing.
The show must go on.
I told that story for the first time the other day in my interview last week, and that was 20 years ago, 19 years ago on QVC.
Wow. But that's really the good stuff. Like, not only, did the product end up being a success because of your determination. I mean, it's so easy in those moments to just want to dissolve in a puddle of tears. Everything I've done is wrong. And of course, here's the failure. But not only that, but you immediately identified how you can improve your invention from that experience, right? You could have made it elastic, or you could have made it a strap that tightens and loosens, and made an even better product out of it. And like that's...
It was okay. My philosophy was, and the way I still think today, when I got my first product on QVC, which was the hair accessory, I'll tell you about in a second. The first product I got on QVC, I said, if I sell one, I will be the happiest person on the planet, because one person liked my idea, my creation. And then I said, okay, well, if one person bought it, then others will buy it, right? Whether it's on QVC or not on QVC, or out of the back of my trunk, like Damon John started. And that's really the way to do it. Having that determination and moving forward to make things happen and not get caught up. 100% of people are not going to always want to buy your product, but that's okay. So my first hair accessory that I got on QVC, if you want to hear it. Do you want to hear it?
I'd love to.
So the first product was a hair accessory. And the way I came up with this hair accessory, I never looked to invent anything. I'm not a person who says, I want to invent something so I can get rich. Never. You'll never hear those words out of my mouth. I never think the product I created is going to make $1 billion. I don't think that way. Say, let's see what happens. Put it out there. Let's see what happens. Well, every Sunday going to church, I would put my hair up in a ponytail and, make it look nice and everything, have the little tendrils hanging down, but I had to do it quick. So I would go into my sock drawer and pull a sock out of the drawer, put my hair in a bun, twist it around, but beautiful socks, and they're all clean, by the way. Put my hair in a bun, and it looked phenomenal every time. Every time. I couldn't always find a barrette, so I said, okay, I know my socks are going to work. Take it, wrap it around, beautiful bun, every single Sunday. And every single Sunday, somebody complimented my bun. Every Sunday. And I was like, did they not wear a sock in my ear? Did they not know I'm wearing a sock? A clean, colorful sock that matched my outfit. And one Sunday I went home, I said, what am I, nuts? Make it into a product. This is an invention. And that's exactly what I did. That day I sat by my fireplace. I went to the rag shop or whatever the store was at the time, cut up material, started designing this product so it wouldn't look like a sock, and created it, developed this product, and got that on QVC and sold it again and again. It was a sock for my hair.
Wow. I think that those are some of the greatest ideas. And, one of my hobbies too is writing and performing music. And it's the exact same way. If I try and create something for an audience, it always falls flat. It's only when you create something for yourself that you'll actually have the investment and the inspiration, what it takes to actually make something useful. Because if you don't like it, who else is going to, right?
Right. So you write music. Good for you. You play. What do you play?
I play guitar. Yeah.
Very nice.
And I think there's a lot of crossover between songwriting and invention just because you're creating something that's never existed before. And it's really only going to be meaningful if you create something that you would want to consume yourself. And it's really, I think the most powerful inventions are not, wow, there's a $1 billion market for this, so I should make something. It's that, like, man, this is a problem I really want solved. And there's probably someone else out there who wants it solved too. Like,
Right. If
those
you
are the
have
ideas.
an issue, if you're not by yourself, this is an everyday problem, right? If you have it, other people are having the same thing. We're all the same. We all do the same things. We wake up, brush our teeth, hopefully, and, keep it moving. So, yeah. And I had to write about it. You want to hear how it's written about it? I'll show you.
Yeah.
Bam. So I just wrote my first book. I have books on, back in the day, books on tape, but launching my book, and thank you. And I am now
Love it.
doing my first book signing at Barnes & Noble here in New Jersey, September 29th, and really excited. So the name of the book is The Inventress's Guide to Inventing the Right Way, All or Nothing, Now or Never.
Amazing.
Guide will walk you through everything from beginning to end, from concept to fruition. And not only do I have concept to fruition, I have positive affirmations after every single chapter, because we get discouraged, right? We get discouraged, like we talked about before. We get discouraged and we don't continue. So you'll see after every chapter, I have affirmations. And at the end, I have a place to journal, show you my journaling. Journal after every chapter. You can't see this well, but I'm showing you anyway. Okay. So really important that you take the proper steps when you have an idea to move in the right direction. As I said, the right way, because there's a right way and there's a wrong way of doing things. And you know that well. I think you know exactly what I'm talking about.
Absolutely.
The right way or the wrong way, and make a whole lot of mistakes in between. I've made those mistakes, and the right way is right here in my book. Now on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, yada, yada, yada.
That's so excellent. I'm sure there's tons of important tools for inventors in there. I was wondering, maybe you could share with us just one of your favorite tools to help inventors along their journey.
Tools. Okay, tools to help invent. Okay, yes, 100%. So let's start by, all right, when you have an idea for something and it's that nagging idea that keeps on coming back, because it's got to be that one. Most of us inventors have many ideas, and we're very, very distracted. We're going this way and that way. That's just the way it is. That's the way our brains are operate, right? But when you have that idea, the first thing you need to do is name it and claim it. Name it and claim it. And I'm talking about you too. If you're writing a song, name the song. Name the song and the rest will happen. When you name the product, it becomes real. It becomes real. And then you could take all of the necessary steps from drawing it. Take your pencil. Take a pencil, get a journal specifically for that product, because we have many ideas. But for that one product, write the name, start drawing out exactly the dimensions, if you can, exactly the color of it. Let it become real in your mind, in your heart and soul, and bring it to life. Name it and claim it. That's in this book too. Name it, claim it, write it, and own it. When you do that, it comes to life, and then you find somebody like me to help you. Or, and honestly, you find me to help you. If not me, find somebody you trust who is in the industry who can help you along the way. So that's it. Okay, was that going to...
I love it.
Hey, Seth.
There was a bunch of tools in there, actually, I heard.
Okay.
So you start with that nagging idea, the one that really keeps you awake at night. Again, I think that's the most important place for people to start. The one thing that they really want to see in the world. And then naming and claiming it. Such a beautiful way to put it, and really easy to remember because it rhymes. And so that's already, I love it. It's in itself, you've named and claimed the idea. I should call this the the inventress is a toolbox, but this is naming it, claiming it, having an idea. You can make it more real just by giving it a name, putting your name beside it. And then the third thing I heard was, write it down, get all the specifics, all the colors right, all the dimensions right, all the parts list. That is so key. That's so critical. That's really one of the things I do when I'm talking to a client and they want to get a patent together. I've got to figure out, like, what are the constituent pieces of this? Everything needs to have a name. Everything needs to have a specification, so I can put it all together and turn it into intellectual property at the other. You can't patent an abstract idea. You need to have real items, real steps, real elements that all work together to make this thing a reality.
That's for sure. And you need help, right? You need everything. You need for them to really give you everything they have on paper. Write it down. Write down everything on paper. And even if they're jotting while they think of it. And then at the end of the day, look at it and bring it all together so it makes sense. I'll write down words. I jot words down that come to mind. And that's how I wrote my book too. At the end of it, pull it all together. And then here you have a product. Here you have your product. They can then hand it off to you and you understand what it is because they've spoken it to you and taken the dimensions, made your job easier.
Well, Lisa, thank you so much for talking to me. It's great to learn all these wonderful tips for you, on behalf of myself and behalf of the audience. Really just such a pleasure seeing part of your process, how you became the inventress, the mentors you had along the way, the products and experiences you've had. I think this will be a really valuable conversation to so many people. So I just really want to thank you so much for coming on the show. Where can people find more about inventing A to Z and your book?
I must say thank you so much. I appreciate you and thank you for having me. I love what you do, and we have to connect off air here. They can find my book on Amazon, The Inventress's Guide to Inventing, or if you look up my name, Lisa, Lisa Ascolese, Ascolese. You'll find it on Amazon. To find me, my company name is Inventing, INVINTING, ATOZ.com. That's Inventing, ATOZ.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook, everywhere, Twitter, the X Factor, whatever it is now. Whatever they're calling that thing now. Everywhere. Google me, look me up. My phone number is 732-647-5433. Yes, I give out my phone number, but only call me if you have a good question. But yeah,
amazing.
That's it. I'd love to help you all, you inventors out there who are floundering. Look me up. I'm here for you.
Excellent. And we'll put all the links to your website and feeds in the description so people can just look there to access it. Thank you so much for your time, Lisa. Look forward to talking again soon.
Thank you for having me. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you for joining my conversation with Lisa Ascolese. If you are learning from and or enjoying the podcast, please subscribe on YouTube, Spotify, Apple, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also see all of our episodes and more content at inventanything.net. Last but not least, remember, you can invent anything.